Phil Regan, coach de los Toros del Este. Phil, first of all, your second year here in the DR with the Toros. Once you came here, everything changed. What did you do?
Well, we did a few things. We changed it. We got a little bit more organized, I think, and guys were accepting the roles. We kind of knew who our starters were going to be. We kind of assigned different roles to the bullpen, so that when you call down to the bullpen, they pretty much know who's coming in, who's and what innings to be prepared a little bit, and so I think that was one of the big things. Plus, you work with them every day. I knew a lot of the players that were here already through being with the Mets. A lot of them, some were with the Mets, and some of them knew me. So it was an easy transition to come in here, and they knew me and I knew them a little bit.
I ask you because this year, 2019, with the Mets, last year actually, you were called up to the bigs. Did you consider yourself a rookie?
Yes, because I was in 1999. I was a pitching coach in Cleveland. 97, 98, I was with the Cubs. 99, I went with back with the Cleveland Indians, and then retired for about 6 years to my home in Michigan. And so I hadn't been in the major leagues since 1999, and that's 20 years. And I was in with our AAA club because the pitching coach there had a triple heart bypass, and I was took over for him. And they came down to me and said, "We want to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." And they said, "We're going to make a change in New York, and we want you to come to New York." And I said, "Whoa, wait a minute! It's like hitting me over the head with a sledgehammer." I said, "Just let me think about it for tonight, and let me think about that because." So I thought about it, and I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it." And here again, it was an easy transition because I'd had in St. Lucie when I was there, I had Syndergaard, I had DeGrom, I had Matz and Wheeler and Familia and all those guys down there had come up through the system, and I had, when they were babies, I had them. So again, I felt comfortable going in there, and it worked out all right.
When you came here to the Toros last season, the team's ERA, you lowered it almost by a complete run. We were the last in pitching. We were, I believe it was second. When you got to the Mets, the team's ERA, especially the bullpens, was about a run lower. How do you do it, Phil?
Lucky, I guess. But one of the things that I do, and and today is a lot of technology, as you know, and you got any day that we throw a bullpen in New York, you're going to have 3 different types of machines. Or you're going to have the TrackMan, you're going to have one that measures, which way it goes, with this way, cameras rolling all the time, and they can tell you the different spin, and they can tell you, that's not a good pitch, that's not spinning right, but they don't know how to get it to do different. And so we spend a lot of time, and I do, on very basic fundamentals, just the idea that nothing is written in sand. But if you're comfortable, if you got balance, if you're comfortable in your stance, and get the ball to the plate, you're going to be more consistent with your pitches. They're going to be better pitches, and that's very basically what I work on almost all the time, is making sure you're balanced. That you're there's really 3 things that I think you got to do. Is one, you get, and this is getting a little technical, but you never let your head go behind your feet when you're throwing a ball. If you watch an infielder, his head is always over it. You see a lot of pitchers, they go back and their head goes, but they never gain the momentum again. I make sure that they keep their head over their feet and they're aggressive and athletic stance. The next big thing is your balance, that you don't go out too quick so that your arm can get up at the right angle. It's got to be at a right angle when you deliver the ball. And the third thing that's really important is how you land with your landing foot. If you land on your heel, you're going to kick back under the ball. If you land on the front of the foot, you're going to get down over the ball. A good example is Marinas last night. If you saw him pitch, he's been working really hard. We worked on him throwing up the mound, trying to get him over the ball. And last night was a perfect example. Even some of the coaches said, "Boy, he looks different. What is he doing?" Well, he's getting out and getting extension through great sliders, great fastballs, and it's really the very basic fundamentals of pitching.
If you compare Dominican baseball winter league with major leagues, besides the technology, which is obvious, is different. What else is different here in the DR and in the majors, or is it just back to basics again?
Well, it's all back to basics. Of course, in the major leagues, you have a complete bullpen of guys that can pitch in the major leagues. Where you come down to a winter league team, you might have a whole different group of guys. You might have Neris that saved 26 games for Philadelphia in the major leagues. You might have a Maya that we saw in Cincinnati last year and pitched in the major leagues.
And you have a Leovani who's in the Class A and lights out.
Exactly, and that's where the difference is, because you have to continue to work and make sure that their progress is going right. The other thing is the restrictions that are placed on players down here by the major league clubs. A lot of people wonder, well, why did you take that pitcher out? Well, a lot of the major league clubs will tell you he can't go 2 innings. He can only go 1 inning. If he goes 2 innings, we got to give him 3 days off, and we just can't do that. So it's different in that respect, in that in the major leagues, it's all about winning. And as it is in winter ball, which I like. Where in the minor leagues in the United States, it's all about developing to get them to the major leagues.
Okay, let's talk Toros and the 2019-20 season. You're doing it again. Team's ERA is the best in the league for the second year in a row. What do you think is going to be the basic elements, the basic keys to get the tournament back to La Romana again?
I think right now we're as strong probably in our pitching as maybe what we've been all year. We're going to have We're going to have all the 4 starters available. They've given us great quality starts, and I always feel if we can get 5 or 6 innings out of our starters, our bullpen is going to take over. We're strong with right-hand pitching now. We're going to be stronger with left-hand pitching than we have been all year, and I think we're really ready for anybody in the short series.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Phil.
All right, thank you.
And good luck in the finals.